Hello, darlings. Happy morning. Let me ask all of you one question. Very simple question. Which is the fastest animal on earth? And the answer is not human beings, okay?
Lion.
Lion. I wish it was, but no. So the fastest is cheetah. It can travel up to a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. And you know how much time it takes to travel from 0 to 100? 3 seconds. विकास बोले ऐसा तो गाड़ी भी नहीं बना आज तक. 3 seconds. Who is the strongest animal? Elephant. Who is the biggest animal? Achha, the biggest is the elephant, but the tallest is the giraffe. Then why is the lion called the king of the jungle? If it is not the fastest, if it is not the strongest, if it is not the tallest, not the biggest, why is the lion called the king of the jungle? और इसमें कोई डिबेट नहीं है. All over the world, lion is called king of the jungle. Shafi says fearless leader. In other words, you are saying he's a nidder leader. Okay, because of its reflexes, bravery, quick thinking. Okay. What else? It is fierce. Okay, which means anybody who is dangerous will be the fierce. Because of its attitude. अबे कौन सा attitude जीतू? Attitude मतलब क्या? In college they say ये बहुत attitude देता है. He has power. What power? Who has given that power? कोई election हुआ था वहाँ पे? So these are all good attempts. Do you know the lion has the loudest sound in the whole animal kingdom? Its sound can reach up to 8 kilometers. Needless to say, 8 kilometers. Manish Kotak is beautifully writing, standing firm with grandeur even in adverse situations. This is, Manish Kotak is saying it based on his experiences during coronavirus times. Standing firm even in adverse situations. Its power to use potential. Arey Naresh Gandhi, his firm's name is Empower, Empower Solutions. So you see how what we are thinking is a reflection of our approach to life. Though I doubt that is Vijay's approach to life. Lion is one of those rare hunting animals which lives in groups. Of course, it is fearless. It can run at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. It can jump as high as 36 feet. Which means if you are on the 4th floor, chances are the lion might jump there from the ground floor. World Wildlife Fund says a lion can jump up to 11 meters. Which would be somewhere around 36 feet. And finally, a lion kills only when it is hungry. It does not kill for pleasure. It kills only because of a need, not otherwise. Why are we discussing this? You need not be the fastest in life. You need not be the strongest for you to do well. You need to live to your nature, and you should be capable of whatever you want to have in life. You should be capable to get whatever you want in life. If you don't have the capacity, build that capacity. And like a lion, you will also rule. So if somebody else is a little faster than you, it's okay. If somebody else is stronger than you, it's okay. If somebody is bigger than you, it's okay. If somebody is taller than you, has greater stature in the society, it's okay. You have your dreams based on what you want in life. Don't have dreams based on what others have in life. Make your dreams on what you believe should be your dharma and karma. What is it that you want to experience in this sansara? How is it that you can tackle the dukh? Based on that, you make your dreams. And you too shall rule. Now let me open the floor in case you have any questions that you want me to deliberate on. In case you have no questions, then I have some things that I want to discuss in today's life lesson. So Vijay asking this question in the morning, Naren, you're speaking about rejection leading to misery. But in life, I will always get rejected. I mean, on a daily basis, I will get rejected. Like a salesman is there and he goes to sell. Many people will come, but so many will not buy. Like Anil Kalra must be having daily experience, so many customers coming in. And even if Anil proposes the right product for them, they may not buy that product. A mother might make nutritious food and offer it to children, and the children might say, no, I don't want to eat this food. A father might ask the children to study a little harder, and the children might say, "Aaj bahut padhai ho gaya aur humko nahi padhai karna." So in different ways, rejection is a part of daily life. So if rejection leads to misery, then does it mean I have to live a miserable life all the time? Beautiful question. What I mentioned was a question. Does rejection lead to misery for you? No. So there are two ways to look at this. Way number one, when I am rejected, I have time to produce results. Then there may not be misery. But if I need results now, and you are one person who can help me, and you do not help me or reach out to me, in that case, a rejection might give me a lot of misery. You know, you have the right goods in your shop, and somebody comes and files a case. They are attempting to confiscate all the goods of, let's say, 10 crore stock that you had, and they are wanting to seal the entire building. Now, this will mean a lot of loss for you. So, you know somebody whose one phone call can help you out. You have done a lot of good to that person. So you believe वो तो अपना ही बंदा है, वो तो जरूर मेरे को help करेगा. And you make that phone call. And he says, I'm sorry yaar, but I will not be able to help you. He can, but he does not want to. In other words, he rejects you. And you are in trouble. Now this rejection, chances are very high, is going to lead to misery. So divide rejection into different kinds. Oh, I forgot. Nowadays, one big cause of rejection is you sent a friend request to someone and they don't accept it. I was in a marriage and there a person met another person and he was saying, 3 दिन पहले मैंने तेरे को friend request भेजा, तूने accept ही नहीं किया. And that fellow said, मैं तो 4-5 दिन से Facebook देखा ही नहीं. ऐसे कैसे? And he was very upset that it is already 3 days and the friend request has not been accepted. Misery. My sister was a little miserable because she had invited a few people and they did not come for the wedding. At the same time, somebody else was very miserable that when 2 people were invited, 5 landed up. यार कोरोना वायरस के टाइम में 2 को बुलाया तो 1 को आना चाहिए, तो 5 आ गए. Now all these things will happen in life. So let's divide rejection into a few parts. One, when I'm rejected and I have time to produce results. In that scenario, if I become miserable, I am actually stupid. Two, when I have unreasonable expectations and I get rejected. I should not get miserable. What do I mean by this? Let's say I go to Vikas Bhav's Bhakti Cars and ask for a 50% discount. Now Vikas's margin is 35%. He has to run the operation, so why he should give a discount? Not at all. So he just says, "Nahi Naren, yahan hum log apne log discount ka philosophy nahi rakhte." And I might get offended. अरे ऐसे कैसे? मैंने कुछ मांगा, मेरे को मना कैसे कर दिया? मेरे को मना कर दिया. Now this is unrealistic expectations. Here if we get rejected, we have to work on ourselves. Third is, when I give a very valid suggestion in the right way and yet I am rejected. Let's say Ganesh is there at office and Ganesh says that Naren, ये अपना AC बहुत पुराना हो गया, बहुत आवाज करता है, तो clearly आवाज सुनाई नहीं देती है. So we should either get this AC repaired and make it soundless, or we should replace the AC. इतना disturbance मेरा मजा नहीं आता. Very valid. And if I turn his rejection down, or I tell him, तेरे को disturbance होता है, तू ही नया लगवा दे. Then he says, ये क्या है? मतलब सबके अच्छे के लिए बोल रहा हूँ, फिर वैलिड भी एक बात है, फिर क्यों रिजेक्ट हो रहा है? So rejection as a word leading to misery may not have a direct answer. It depends on the context in which rejection happened. Let's say I want a girl for my son as the daughter-in-law of the family. Let's say I decide that she's a very nice kid and she would be the perfect bahu for the house. And I approach her parents and say, we have a lovely son back home, so if you're looking for the right kind of a boy, apne यहाँ संबंध हो सकता है. They might have different expectations. And if they say कि कुंडली नहीं मिल रहा है, normally when you have to reject a proposal, best option is to say कुंडली नहीं मिल रहा. You cannot say ना कि बाप टकलू है इसके लिए शादी नहीं कराना है. वो तो बोल नहीं सकते. तो कुंडली नहीं मिल रहा है. And I might get very offended. But it's their choice, their life. I can't impose my choice on somebody else. So don't take every rejection to heart. There are some rejections which will be a part of your life. You have to deal with it very smoothly, very gracefully. There are some rejections where the choice is not yours, the choice is the other person, and we should give them that scope. There are some rejections where we were not good enough. We need to become an improved version of ourselves. There are some rejections where the other person is not able to see logic. Even though we are explaining things beautifully, उनको नहीं समझ में आ रहा. I need to become a better communicator. I need to leave them to their senses. Whenever they understand, let them make the choice. And of course, there are some times when you need somebody's help and you rightfully need that help. You validly need that help and the other person has all the power to help you. And then when they don't help you, that is a difficult rejection to take. That is a difficult rejection to take. So see the rejections in different buckets. Somewhere there is acceptance, somewhere there is growth, somewhere the timing of the communication is not right. Somewhere what is happening is maybe not okay. We need to take it in stride and keep moving. Always believe you will always have options. When you believe you have options, then rejections don't shake you. When you believe you are optionless, only then a rejection can hurt you. So always anchor yourself to this belief. I have options. Never believe you are cornered and you are optionless. And you will do well. Now let me look at the other questions. I know Rashida is waiting in line. What it takes to get what we want in life? Very deep question. What it takes to get what we want in life? Lot of things. Definitely dharma and karma becomes a part of the answer. If it is against existential laws, even if you want it, it may not happen. Then of course comes our karma, our efforts. The required effort, if that is not put in, you don't get it. For the time being, if these two things are in place, you are on the right track. Then it depends on how many people want what you want. And therefore, is effort required or strategy required or network required or patience required? Now that has to be figured out. And then most importantly, do you have conflicting needs? Do you have conflicting needs? Like, Uh, you want to be very fit, but you don't like to exercise. ये conflict है. You want to be very peaceful, yet you can't forgive people. Conflict है. You want to save a lot of money, and you believe that carpe diem, live today. So if your needs are conflicting needs, then it's difficult for you to get what you want in life. Finally, sometimes what you want in life, your effort may not be alone. You might need a team. I can't manufacture a car all by myself. I will need a team. I can't have a life lesson all by myself. I need a team. So what you want, are you enough or do you require a team? So you get all these things in order and you will be able to get what you want in life. Let me see the question which has already come. Now I see Teja's hand also. Okay. Is it necessary that your dream should match with the circumstances around you? Suparna darling, not at all. In fact, your dreams should not match the circumstances around you. Now, Suparna, if you depend on somebody else's cooperation for your dreams to happen, then you will always be anxious. But if you depend on yourself and say, I'm going to make it happen with you or without you, it requires fierce courage like that of a lion. But that is when you can dream much bigger than your current circumstances. So India was not independent, right? India was a slave country. India was ruled by the British. Now the dream that many of our freedom fighters saw was India should be independent. And the dream was not based on circumstances, was it? Today India wants to become a 5 trillion economy. It's not based on circumstances, is it? You would have read about Manya Singh becoming Miss India runner-up. And her father is an auto rickshaw driver. Her dreams are not based on circumstances, isn't it? Every year we read about some people passing the IAS exams, the IPS exams, and they are sons of laborers and farmers. Their dreams are not based on their circumstances, is it? There is no limit. And circumstances and situations might always create a limit. Satish asked, when I need to live based on my dreams, then what's inspiration from others? Inspiration from others makes you understand if there are so many people who have lived beyond their means and circumstances, so can you. जैसे गाड़ी चालू करने के लिए पहले बैटरी लगता है ना, उसके बाद में पेट्रोल और डीजल टेक्स हो. Similarly, sometimes a spark can create a forest fire. So similarly, one nudge from an inspiration can open up the windows and doors of my potential and my dreams. So that is where an inspiration becomes very, very useful. So it does not mean for me to dream an inspiration is compulsory. But in case I have an inspiration, dreaming becomes easier. Okay, now let me go to Rashida first. Rashida?
This has reference to our last life lesson.
Yes.
Where we were talking about contamination stories and redemption stories.
Yes.
You had given an example whereby the estranged father, after many years, the child goes back and he realizes that the father had shunned his responsibility because he was scared of his being unable or lack of resources, and his capacity would not be enough to provide for the family. So that was the reason. So, if the situation had been different, that the father did leave the first family on these grounds, but later on in life met somebody else with a more financially comfortable situation, was lonely, and hence started a second family. And when the first child, when the child from the first family goes to the father, he probably cannot forgive this action of the father. So, what would be the redemption story? That was my question. That time you said that we will talk about facts of redemption stories.
So you remember this entire discussion was when we were discussing about what are facts and what are assumptions.
Yes.
Correct? That was the context in which this story was being discussed.
Correct.
Right? Now, what are the facts? The fact is that the father needed a financially stable life partner. Even though he was the man, he needed a family which is financially stable. He did not have the confidence in himself to earn money. Yes, Rashida.
I don't agree with that part that the father needed a financially stable family, because he started the family. Providing the finance or financial stability is primarily his responsibility. It could be served a joint responsibility by both partners had they worked out. That is a different story. But the father cannot need a financially stable family per se.
Were you there in that life lesson when we discussed about value judgments?
I don't think so. From this time I started, that topic has not come up.
What is a value judgment? According to Rashida, what is right is the man should earn. According to the father-in-law who got this man married to his daughter as the second marriage, he needed a son-in-law who's decent, who has good character, and he doesn't mind if he has to provide for him for the rest of his life. Two different people, two different outlooks, two different points of view. You may value a man who stands and earns, and the future wife, the second wife, might value a person who is available to her when he needs her. And the father-in-law might value a son-in-law who can take care of his business and take care of his child. What you value and what somebody else values may be different. Now, value judgment is my value is the right value, others' value is the wrong value. कोई जरूरी नहीं. And I forgive people not because they are good, they are bad, they are right, they are wrong, they are improved, they repent. No, I don't forgive people for all that. I forgive people because I want to be peaceful. My hurt is like a stinking thing. I keep it within myself. I am the only person who is suffering. Forgiveness is actually a very selfish act. When I forgive you, in case Rashida hurts, it makes no difference to you. I am hating you, you don't care. But if I hate you, I am miserable. So if my peace is important, my current people in life are important to me, I want to have a great life, the least I should do is to forgive you. So hatred is not a punishment to the person who has harmed you. Hatred is the punishment you give to yourself because somebody harmed you. Hatred is self-punishment.
Got it.
Hence, if anybody says, "Yaar, I can't forgive," they need some guidance. Forgiveness should be effortless. Forgiveness should be immediate. Forgiveness should be completely. What is the proof of it? When you meet this person next time, you should be able to smile and laugh together. Then you have actually forgiven them. You have moved on. If the mention of their name creates some volcano inside your belly, then you have not forgiven that person yet. So, how much peace you want, the proof is your ability to forgive.
Got it.
So, Rashida, as we live our life, all of us have this risk of moving into value judgments. And when values don't match, we think others are wrong. Not necessarily, it's their choice of life. They are doing their dharma, they are living by their karma. Simple. So never ever fall into the trap of value judgments. Especially as a teacher, as a coach, as a trainer, you'll always come across people whose values are different from yours. And the classic mistake which any teacher does is impose their will on others. यही right है, यही करना चाहिए. लाइफ में ऐसा नहीं होता. Teja's hand is also up. In the meanwhile, let me see if there is any other question. No, there is no question. In case anybody has any question that you wish me to answer, just put it in the chat box. Before I go to Teja, I have a very, very interesting thing to discuss. Did I tell you the different kind of teachers that exist in life? No? Arey, that's such a brilliant thing. And you should know that. The ugliest word for a teacher is calling them a lecturer. You know, I just heard Ritesh More saying lecture chalu hai. So the ugliest word for a teacher is a lecturer. With all the love to Ritesh, I know his intentions are absolutely right. But this has triggered something inside. So, लेक्चरर बोला ना, कोई कॉलेज का बच्चा लेक्चरर का इज्जत नहीं करता. And with a lot of irritation, we also tell, अभी देखो इसका लेक्चर चालू हो गया. So, I have only one request to all of you on a personal level. Please don't call me a lecturer. The fundamental level of a teacher is called adhyapak. Who is an adhyapak? Somebody who provides you information. So there is one kind of a teacher who goes inside the classroom, opens the book and just gives information. जो किताब में है वही उसने वापस सुना दिया है ना, वो उसको अध्यापक बोलते हैं. Then there is something called upadhyay. Upadhyay is a person who mixes that information with life's wisdom. So an Upadhyay will not only speak about there are 4 kinds of clouds, they will also speak about the way these clouds dissipate after some time and sun rises again. Similarly in life, when you feel कि सूरज दिख तो नहीं रहा है, ये बादल छंटते हैं और सूरज वापस दिखता है. They will mix it. They will bring in some philosophy. Like, the clouds come and always gives. The cloud never takes anything from you. So if there is a cloud and it has got water from earth, it will give everything. It will not hold anything with itself. Now a geography teacher who's talking about cumulus, cumulonimbus, these different kinds of clouds, brings in some philosophy of life also. Now he is not an adhyapak or she is not an adhyapak anymore. They have become a upadhyay. Next is Pandit. Pandit is a deep subject knowledge. Pandit is the go-to person for any doubt that you have on that topic. Pandit is like an encyclopedia, he is the resource. That's why in music, you call somebody a Pandit means वो level में पहुंच गए. Now they have deep knowledge, not just surface knowledge. So that is Pandit. Then there is Acharya. Acharya teaches you very specific skills. So if somebody is teaching archery, he is an Acharya. Ritesh Shinde is an Acharya. By the way, Acharya has got nothing to do with Achar. Acharya means that specific knowledge. So a costume designer will be an Acharya. उसको एक specific आता. Then there is something very beautiful called Drishta. Drishta means visionary view of the knowledge. They see the potential of knowledge, not just knowledge. So if a geography teacher is talking about 4 kinds of clouds, Vishal clouds, they would be seeing what is the potential of this knowledge in the life of the students. And they are the people who create dreamers. They are the people who would expand the mind of pupils to see magic in knowledge. So when we had Professor Dr. Ghosh who would teach us accounts, you can go on listening to him speaking about accounts. He makes it such a desirable subject and not a boring subject with only plus and minus. They want you to go deeper into that. So if somebody is a mechanical engineer, and let's say a professor of mechanical engineering, they will teach in such a way that every child in the class believes the best choice of their life was to take up mechanical engineering. As a mechanical engineer, what I can do in my life is, they create dreamers. What we are attempting to do through Bharat at 100, a visionary outlook towards knowledge. The best form of a teacher who's really passionate about their subject is to enable the students to have a vision of that subject. What we are attempting to do in life school, where we are not just helping you to solve the issues of life, to be a little more peaceful, but expand your mind into believing that you are here for a purpose and you can create a great impact. You're meant to rule, you're meant to be the lion. Now, if I can't transfer that vision of life for you, as I discuss about this subject of life, then somewhere I did not do my job properly. So when Anil Kalra goes to Wadia College and there if he's attempting to teach them about, let's say, dream big, inside the class, if he can expand a few people's view of their personal life, then he would that day be a drishta teacher. जो दूसरों को ना एक दृष्टि दिखा सकता है जो वो खुद नहीं देख सकते. So this teacher has a visionary view of that subject. Now comes the final, which we call as the Guru. Guru is not talking about subject. Guru is talking about potential. Guru is a person who removes all the darkness and fills you with light. So if Joe is taking a batch of DWT, and as she's talking to the children, if she can make the children believe in their potential. So at one end is the drishta who gives you a dream. At the other end is a guru who makes you believe in your potential. And when these two come together, extraordinary things happen. That exactly is the objective, purpose, approach of everything that we do in life school. Guru and Drishta together. Lecturer. So different kinds of teachers. Teja.
Yeah, it's today is very much related to my subject. So ये जो आपने philosophy के पूरे line बताए, so I'm just thinking it's not a question because if there is all kind like dharma, karma, praman, atma, sansar, reincarnation must be like a utpatti or nirmiti, right?
Okay.
जो आपने reincarnation जो आपने बताया, so like why there is a dukh first, why not sukh? Means उसके बारे में क्यों ये अपनी philosophy ने पहले नहीं बात करी? That's what I just wonder. And then ahimsa, ध्यान, मोक्ष. So सुख दुख क्यों नहीं? क्यों दुख सिर्फ?
हाँ. So if you see, they don't talk about happiness. Neither do they talk about consciousness. Because they believe it is existing. So if you remove dukh, what remains is sukh. So you can't create happiness. You can definitely create misery. So the way darkness cannot be created, light can be created. There is no instrument in the world which can create darkness. So when you remove light, what is left is darkness. So I guess that is why they might be speaking about why we become unhappy. And if I can deal with that, what is left with me is happiness. So that might be or must be the philosophy with which they have worked. Okay. Next question. If values don't match, how should we proceed? Whatever you do, others will not understand. So this is a value judgment. Whatever you do, others will not understand. No two people's all the values can match. Chance ही नहीं. Chance ही नहीं. However you are in love with someone, कितने बड़े soulmates क्यों नहीं हो, born for each other हो ना हो, फिर भी all the values will not match. there will always be some gaps. This is where you have to practice CAR formula. Change the changeable, accept the unchangeable, and remove yourself from the unacceptable. It's as simple as that. My kids love to study late in the night till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I love to wake up early in the morning and do my work. I can tell them, रात तो भूतों का टाइम होता है, पिशाचों का टाइम होता है. तुम लोग क्या रात को पढ़ाई करते हो? भूतों क्या है? Value judgment. Somebody might love to have a Mercedes Benz for themselves. And somebody else might say, I will cycle wherever I have to go to. Like I know this lovely human being called Jugal Rathi. He's a chartered accountant. And I think last about 15 years, he's only cycled wherever he wants to travel in Pune. 20 kilometers, 25 kilometers, he only cycles. Needless to say, he's 75 years old and super fit. Any one of you and me would have cycled so much, we would have got recycled by now. Now he's saying, थोड़ा बहुत environment का ध्यान मैं cycling करके रख लेता हूँ. क्यों फ्यूल बर्न करना? और है ना थोड़ा पैर में भी ताकत, साइकिल करेंगे ना. But if he looks down on everybody else who buys a car, then that's a value. Chances are his wife travels by a car, chances are his children travel by a car. But judge नहीं कर सकते. So there is something called morals and there is something called values. There is something called principles. Principles is झूठ नहीं बोलने का. That's a principle, guiding principle of life. और अगर कोई झूठ बोलता है और उसके संग मेरे को काम करना है, मैं नहीं कर पाएगा. Then I will remove myself from that equation. Where it is a value judgment, I will accept. Where it is morals or principles difference, then I will remove myself. As simple as that. But remember, nobody in the world is interested in changing because of you. Always remember that. To make your life better, nobody is interested in changing their life. You cannot be the center around which the world rotates. So accept what is in your control, change or move on. You only have 3 options. Okay. All your questions are done? Fantastic. Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore said, we do not learn from knowledge or experience. We learn from reflecting on our knowledge and experience. If you do not reflect on your knowledge, if you do not reflect on your experiences, you will not learn. You will end up making the same mistakes again and again. Let's say, for example, I have shortage of money. And every month there is a scramble to somehow make ends meet. Okay, this is the knowledge that I have, this is the experience I have. Now, do I reflect on it and therefore derive some insight? Or do I think, एक दिन सब ठीक हो जाएगा? The most underrated part of a human being is the ability to reflect. While you use the mirrors which reflects your physical personality, and you make the necessary corrections because you don't like what you see, you use your intelligence to reflect on everything which is going on inside so that you can make the corrections when you see something which is not right. When something is not right, we have two options. One, blame the world and wait for the world to change. And two, bring about the change within myself. So Suparna might either need to be very courageous, or Suparna needs to be very, very cooperative. In being courageous, she has to take a standpoint. In being cooperative, she should be able to say, even if I am a shadow, it's absolutely okay. परछाई भी किसी ना किसी को तो ठंडक देगी ना. मेरा नाम नहीं हुआ, मेरी शोहरत नहीं हुई, कोई मेरे काम को नहीं देखे, people take me for granted, मेरे को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. I am absolutely okay to be in the shadows. I will do my work diligently. समझ लो पति ने बोला कि घर में 4 मेहमान आने वाले हैं, जरा उनके लिए नाश्ता भी बनाना और खाना भी बनाना, 9 बजे तक आ जाएंगे. And she makes good breakfast, good elaborate lunch. और वेट कर रही है, ना तो कोई नाश्ते में है, ना तो कोई खाने में है. She's calling up her husband and he's not picking up the phone. And at 3 o'clock he comes home and she says, अच्छा क्या हुआ, कोई आया नहीं अभी तक. जिन उन लोग आए थे, हम लोगों ने बाहरी नाश्ता भी कर लिया, बाहरी खाना भी खा लिया, मैंने भी खाना खा लिया, मेरे को पेट में भूख नहीं. And this lady has woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning to make good breakfast and elaborate lunch. Now she has only 2 options now. Either be very courageous or be very cooperative. Maybe the husband nature will never change. Maybe he will take her for granted as long as they are together. Maybe he does not see she is respectable enough. Maybe she does not work on her identity. Now she has only 2 options. Courage or cooperate. But if she thinks that the husband should change, I repeat, nobody in the world is going to change for you unless you are seen as strong or you are seen as an inspiration. Either you must be so strong, कल के दिन मेरे को काम पड़ेगा ना, यही काम में आने वाला है, then people might change for you. Or you are doing something which inspires them, then people will change for you. Not otherwise. Even if you are right and they should improve, they care a damn. You'll meet egoistic people all the time, then you can tell them कि यार आपके ego ठीक नहीं है, आप दूसरों को बहुत hurt हो रहा है. They'll care a damn. You'll come across people who get angry like this and you tell them यार गुस्सा इतना मत किया करो. They care a damn. You may come across people where you tell them कि बच्चों को आप बहुत ज्यादा ढील देते हो, उसकी सब ख्वाहिश को मानते हो, बच्चा बिगड़ जाएगा. They care a damn. Why? You're not strong, you're not an inspiration. So what you're saying will not be heard. Why do we use celebrities in advertisements? Why Virat Kohli is required to sell a tire? MRF tires, उसको कोई टायर के बारे में आइडिया नहीं. If he sells a bat, I can understand. Even if he sells a fitness equipment, I can understand. Tire. Why would a Saurabh Ganguly advertise for Dream 11 mobile game? He has no idea of technology. You are encouraging people to gamble. But then people out there are nuts. They think these people are powerful and they are inspired by them in different ways. Now they will listen to a Saurav Ganguly and a Virat Kohli, even if he says, I use only MRF tires. I'm sure in his Mercedes-Benz he does not use MRF tires. So which means if you want the world to listen to you, either get strength or live that kind of a life which makes people say, wow. Ritesh is so fantastic when it comes to taking initiatives, being responsible, sharing knowledge of fitness. Ideally, he should have at least 1,000 people who are working out with him. Ideally. Now he has to become a strength, a super authority, or inspirational. वो अगर नहीं है, then he might be taken for granted and he will not reach his potential. Does he have the knowledge? Of course he has. Does he have the heart? Yes, he has. So people won't listen to you. People won't listen to you. There's no logic in listening. The excuse to listen is strength or inspiration. How to be courageous? It's very simple. If you're mentally ready for all and any tough time, that means you have courage. You don't need to be exceptional to have courage. You just need to be ready for tough times, for you to be judged, for you to be alone, for you to be courageous. Fundamentally, courage never comes in groups or teams. Courage is lonely. Courage means you are saying, whatever it takes, I will do. And courage means whatever you are dreaming, you have decided to make it into reality. You feel responsible to make it happen. It does not require exceptional talent. It's a choice that you make. With this, I think we have covered all the questions that were there. And since I started speaking about Rabindranath Tagore, I want to first derive the insights that we have had from the 1.5 hour life lesson that we have had so far. And then contemplate on that a little, reflect on that a little. And then if we have time, I'll take about 10 minutes to explain something very beautiful to all of you. Chalo, let's listen to you. Or just type it out there. So far in today's life lesson, what has been your takeaway? And since I see 79 people, including me, ideally there must be at least 78 responses. So either you can vocalize it like Rita wants to, or you can put it in the chat box. Yes, Rita darling?
Hatred is self-punishment. And when we forgive, we should forgive it fully.
Absolutely. वो partial forgiveness में कुछ नहीं होता. So hatred is self-punishment. I love it. Brilliant. Vijay has very beautifully linked the two discussion on value judgments and rejection. Saying when somebody rejects me, it might just be a difference in value judgments. What I value, they don't value. As a result of which, they say no to me. So if I can understand this very simply, I will be able to deal with rejections very easily. Brilliantly caught. Vijay, very beautiful link. Yes, the two darlings over here.
Dreams are not based on circumstances.
No. You never dream based on your current circumstances. In fact, your dreams are powerful enough to change your circumstances. Dreams cannot be born out of the circumstances. It has to be beyond the circumstances. Very beautifully said. Hanji.
Be fearless like lion. Stand firm even in adverse situations.
Stand firm in adverse situations. Manish Kotak's statement, caught by Ganesh. Does anybody else want to vocalize it? Okay, I see a few coming here, which I will read later on.
For me, it's understanding life is to understand who I am, not. I should not take rejections by misery. I should take time to produce results. For me, I should roar like a lion who will be listening 8 kilometers.
Okay, well said.
Thanks.
I'm just giving them 1 minute to write down whatever they want to write. Now take 5 minutes to reflect and think where exactly will you apply this, or where exactly do you think this fits into your life? Anything out of today's life lesson. So if Ganesh speaks about courage as a lion, but ये statement तो अच्छा है, ये life में किधर implement करने का? वाइफ के साथ मैं पूछ रहा हूँ यार, पार्टनर के साथ, if a partner is wanting to exploit, कस्टमर्स के साथ, कॉर्पोरेशन में किधर इंप्लीमेंट करने का? मतलब आज के दिन क्या तकलीफ हो रही है, कहां मेरे को इंप्लीमेंट करना है? So I urge all of you, take 5 minutes. Think, reflect. Where exactly do we have scope to put it in practice in life? Now I would love to listen to a few of you share about your reflections. And I would love to listen to your voice, not just your text. Yes, Sidhu?
Naren, the most important thing I learned today that rejections really helps me a lot, because I work in a sales and many times I go through rejection because we propose something which is very need of that person, but he doesn't understand this and he rejects. So it creates doubt in my mind ki if I'm not working properly or what's going wrong, I'm not getting clear. So I got clarity today ki actually it is an opportunity for me to learn new things, to understand another person's perspective. So rejection is really going to help me. So henceforward, I will not get disappointed because of rejection. I will take it as a positive way of working and I will improve. So I will become better out of it. So thanks for it.
Brilliant. Now, Sidhu, especially in our work, that is the insurance work may not happen for 3 reasons, even if you are right. One, there is a trust deficit. Now, you know it is the best solution. They don't trust it yet. There you will have to think how to build trust. Now, they may trust you as a person, but they may not trust the solution. सिद्धू अच्छा है, लेकिन शायद सिद्धू को सबके बारे में मालूम नहीं. सिद्धू गलत नहीं बोलेगा, लेकिन उसको 3 ही ऑप्शन मालूम है और 5 हुए तो. So I trust the human being Sidhu. I may not trust the knowledge that you have. So one reason why when the right also does not work out is there is a trust deficit. Okay, so always remember this. Second, there is a resource deficit. You are right that, let's say I should take a 5 crore policy. But to get that 5 crore policy, I might need 2 lakh rupees as premium. I may not have the cash flow of 2 lakh rupees. And I may not be able to say this to Sidhu कि यार सिद्धू अपने पास 2 लाख रुपए नहीं है. मेरे को बोलने में हिचक होता है, बोलने में शर्म आती है कि सिद्धू तो मेरे बारे में क्या सोचता है, मैं कैसे बोलूं कि मेरे पास 2 लाख नहीं. So it might be a resource shortage. So we can call it as the resource deficit. So one is trust deficit, then there is resource deficit, then there is mismatched priorities. मैं मानता हूं कि मुझे इंश्योरेंस लेना है, लेकिन मेरा दिल क्या है, वो नई गाड़ी में आया. I really want to buy that 35 lakh car. उसके लिए ना पहले मैं वो 5 लाख का डाउन पेमेंट जुगाड़ कर रहा है. वो गाड़ी मतलब दिल में आ गया है. मैं बोलूंगा मेरे को ही मालूम है यार, गाड़ी ले लिया तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, गाड़ी अभी अच्छी चल रही है, लेकिन पता नहीं बहुत इच्छा हो रही है. So I know logically that this policy has to be bought, but emotionally I want to take that money for something else. So these will be 3 main reasons. When you can find out what is the reason for which a no is being said, then you will understand how to work on it. And you will be able to do much better. Navya?
Happy morning.
Happy morning, darling.
So one thing I've realized is from that lion story, where to be a predator, you need speed, you need power, and the lion isn't the best, but still it's the king. And I think a lot of times with my competition, I spend a considerable amount of time assessing who's better, why am I not the best? And that makes me feel threatened at times. That's my takeaway. I also have a question.
Yes, darling.
So when we said that if something unacceptable is happening, it's best to walk away. While I'm doing that, how do I also forgive?
They played a role in my life, left behind something which was positive, and now onward that is not my path. You know, I fly from here to Chennai for a wedding. I love the aircraft. The air hostess served me beautifully well. And Joe will tell you stories about how sometimes the pursers or the air hostesses have given me preferential treatment in a flight. But if it lands, after that there is no role of me being inside that aircraft. Similarly, there are some people are there in my life for some time, some reason or some season. After that, their role in my life is over, hence I walk away. So I don't carry the hard feelings, I carry the good memories and my takeaways from them. And if you're careful about where is the value judgment conflict coming from, you'll be able to forgive very easily. For more details, let's talk offline one of these days.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, darling.
So for me, I will keep a watch on how many times I get into value judgment conflicts, because I think that happens quite often. So I will keep a track of it and be very aware about it.
Okay. Arshad?
So for people like me, rejection is actually a growth-oriented thing. So people like me take rejection as just I want to maybe want to prove, not for the people but for my sake. So I just got reminded. So first thing, I was rejected in my childhood when I was in 10th standard. So my Langotia so doesn't want to doesn't allow me to touch his computer keyboard.
Oh, okay.
So
I was about
at
to
that,
ask you what was the name of that girl.
no, not girl. It's my Langoti yaar, friend.
Acha.
Yeah. So the first thing I purchased, not that TV, but computer in my childhood. So every time that rejection, I have to take positively, not कि अरे मेरे को हाथ नहीं लगाने दिया, मैं ये नहीं मिला, वो नहीं मिला. So it will take time, but I will earn it.
Yes.
Yeah. So every life is rotating around rejection only, and actually it helped me in selection also.
Okay.
So method of rejection, it is very very easy to get it. Yeah.
You almost make it sound like law of nature, Lovely. Now, we completed 42 days of a brilliant initiative. TJ Nayak was driving it, and I think he drove it phenomenally well. So a round of applause for TJ, please. There are some other people who played a very, very sweet and a cute role. Ritesh was the most active captain among all the 4 captains. And he was not even posting on his own team, but he ensured that the right things are being posted in every group. And because of Ritesh, so much of activity, so much of initiatives, and so many of good things happened in Freedom as a lifestyle movement. So a round of applause for Ritesh, please. I wish and pray that for a few, fitness would have become a part of your lifestyle. And when you are used to a fit body, the way you look at yourself and the way you look at the world is certainly different and certainly beautiful. The confidence with which you carry yourself is awesome. What I love about fitness is genes cannot give it to you. You can't earn it through money. You really have to put your effort, your dedication, your punctuality, your sincerity, your hard work in making it happen. So if you have to ask, is somebody disciplined? Does somebody have their priorities right? You look at a fit person and you know that at least in some aspects of life, I have visible proof that this person has discipline and this person has their priorities right. That's why when we see fit people, we always admire them and they always inspire us. Those of us who are overweight, those of us who are Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall kind of people, we always have to explain. Actually, kya hai na? And it sounds so sad when we explain it like that. So I wish and pray that fitness becomes a part of everybody's lifestyle. Until you reach that level of fitness, you actually won't understand what you're missing. A person who's not taken bath for 10 days is now used to the stink of his body and he thinks sabke saath aisa hi hota hoga. It becomes a part of their life. And when they're asked to take bath, they might hate it like every dog hates taking bath. But once they have been given bath and they feel that freshness, they understand what they have been missing all this while. So I wish that physical fitness becomes a part of your lifestyle. Mental fitness, intellectual fitness, emotional fitness, spiritual fitness can be in a way delegated to somebody else. You have to be present and things might happen. But physical fitness cannot be delegated to somebody else. That you need to do for yourself. Hai na, Nipun? Nipun? Correct, na? Absolutely. So let's say if earlier we had a fraternity where there is 30% people who are fit. With fitness as a lifestyle, let's see if 35-40% people become fit. Let me conclude this life lesson by explaining to you what are the virtues of a good student. हिंदी में ना एक शब्द है जिसको बोलते हैं विद्यार्थी. If today I have also explained to you the virtues of being a good teacher and who is a good teacher and not a lecturer, let me also expound to you who or what is a good student. In the Vedas, there is a mention, there is a shloka which speaks about the must-have qualities of a good student. Now, I'm not going to tell you the shloka in Sanskrit because it's a little tongue twister kind of a thing. But I will explain to you the 5 qualities which is there. It's very simple qualities. They say a good student should be ready to put the efforts of a crow. Now, in context, remember that story of the crow and the pebbles and the jar of water. So a good student doesn't cry about the water level being too low. He finds a solution, puts the effort, brings the water to the top and quenches his thirst. So a good student will always be willing to put efforts. So coming to life lessons will take some effort. Physically, we have every Sunday a few people coming in. We have not yet opened life lessons to physical presence, but it takes effort. Now, sharing helps you to make sense of what you think you have learned. An examination is not about तुमको सब याद है कि नहीं. Examination and the questions over there helps you to understand whether you have understood. It's not about do you remember, it's about do you understand. So sharing is such a powerful mechanism by which you are bringing an entire life lesson of 2 hours into 2 or 3 or 4 important statements which you are carrying away. So it is ridiculous when I see some of you not sharing your takeaways at all. And I wonder why that happens. Now you may have, excuses. मैं सोचा था लेकिन भूल गया. Second, मेरे को जो लिखना था ना, वो मेरे से पहले किसी ने लिख दिया. Third, my English is not so good. भाई ये सबको बाजू में रख and put efforts. If you are not putting efforts, you are not a Vidyarthi. Vidya or Arthi means those who desires knowledge. Arthi has 2 meanings. Another meaning is the last journey of your life will be in Arthi. The second quality which is required is the focus of a crane. When a crane stands in water, there are many small fishes which are swimming around. And the crane is standing still. And it's waiting when the fish of the right size will come. And it will just move inside and take it up. The truth is, around the crane there are many, many small fishes. But it doesn't go for that. Its focus is very clear. I want one big fish, and with that, my meal should be done. So a good student will always have the focus of a crane. And when I say crane, I'm meaning the bird crane. Not the heavy machinery moving, earth moving crane. The third, a good student has the alertness of a dog. The dog is sleeping in the night, slightest of sound, and it is alert 100% in that moment. Have you ever seen a distracted dog? मतलब चोर कहीं से आ रहा है, but the dog is looking at that bone over there. मतलब have you ever seen? Or ever seen a dog जिसको उठाना पड़ता है? ये उठ रे! Alertness of a dog, which means it's 100%. Third, a good student limits and ensures the right inputs are taken in. मतलब जो मेरे काम का चीज नहीं है उसको हटाओ, जो मेरे काम का चीज है उसको ही अंदर डाल. So somebody comes to you and talks about 5 different things which is not relevant to your life. तुम्हारे काम का नहीं है. A good student will gently remove yourself from that situation and go back and focus on what has to be focused. So in Sanskrit it's called as the Alpahari. जिस चीज की जरूरत नहीं है ना, जिसको हारना नहीं है ना, उसको वो सिर्फ अल्प समय के लिए लेता है और फिर निकाल देता है. छोटे टाइम के लिए लेता है. जब आ गया तो नहीं समझ में आया, लेकिन उसको और नहीं आने देगा. I go to Shafi and I immediately start complaining. You know, the problem that I'm having with Jo nowadays is, now she knows that that is not the right information. अभी आ गया एक statement तो कुछ नहीं कर सकती है, but she will ensure that the second statement does not come. She should be able to say, Bhaiya, if it is okay, should I take Jo on a call right now so that the three of us can discuss? मेरे बीच में between the two of us, let's not discuss a third person. Doesn't serve a purpose. That's called Alpahari. जो required नहीं है, उसको अंदर घुसाने का नहीं. And finally, a good student is always eager to leave their comfort zone. These are signs of a good student. 5 qualities of a good student. What are the 5 qualities? Effort of a crow, focus of a crane, alertness of a dog, limits unnecessary inputs, and leaves comfort zone. I think almost all of you are present over here must score very good in all these aspects. Next life lesson. I'm planning to do something really extraordinary. So I will request you to come with a few papers, needless to add, a pen. There will be a very good exercise that we want to do. Chances are that exercise will change your life completely. It will change your worldview in a very big way. In a very big way. So those of you who have people in your life whom you love and who are life schoolers, spread the message to them and request them to be present next Sunday in Life Lessons. Thank you so much for coming. Love you all. Have an exceptional week.